An upstate New York farmer is reeling from the increased cost of business amid President Donald Trump's trade war with multiple countries. Nicholas Gilbert, who tends 1,400 cows at his dairy farm in Potsdam, close to the Canada border, told The Atlantic that a recent order of livestock feed cost him $2,200 extra due to tariffs. The feed came from Ontario, and he mistakenly believed his supplier at the Canadian mill would cover the difference. "I'm not even sure it's legal. We contracted for the price on delivery," he told the magazine. "If your price of fuel goes up or your truck breaks down, that's not my problem. That's what the contract's for." But the tariff was not only legal, it's his responsibility to pay it. Tariffs are paid by domestic importers, not foreign exporters, despite Trump's frequent claims otherwise. And according to The Atlantic, Aiden Farms is doubly stuck with the added cost because the price of the milk Gilbert sells is set by a local co-op and there are no U.S. suppliers nearby. "Buying feed somewhere else would be more expensive," he said. It's the latest in a growing number of businesses caught in Trump's trade war. A small packing and shipping business in Washington state announced last week it was shutting down because Canadian customers stopped using it due to tariffs and Trump's repeated comments about annexing Canada. The Associated Press reports the issue is especially tough on communities along the U.S. Canada border, affecting farms, pets, breweries, ski resorts, water parks, hotels, gas stations, and tourism. Costs have gone up and revenue has gone down, leading to layoffs, closures, and serious economic concerns. "The recession has already begun in these places," The Atlantic declared. Gilbert said some larger companies may be able to pass costs on to consumers by raising prices. But he can't. And it's only going to get harder with levies on fertilizer or farm equipment. California, the first state to sue the Trump administration over tariffs. California, with the biggest state economy, says it will be impacted the most by unilateral Trump move. California Governor Gavin Newsom said Wednesday that his state will file a lawsuit challenging U.S. President Donald Trump's authority to impose sweeping tariffs that have set off a global trade war. The suit will argue that Trump's use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, or a 10% tariff on all imports, is unlawful. The act enables a president to freeze and block transactions in response to foreign threats. Trump has offered many justifications for increasing tariffs, including that they are designed to spur U.S. manufacturing and stop the flow of illicit fentanyl into the country. California's move follows rapidly changing tariff plans by the Trump administration. It is the first state to take legal action over the tariffs, which have been previously legally challenged in suits filed by law firms representing business owners and civil liberties organizations. Newsom says the tariffs in effect have resulted in inflated costs and billions of dollars in damage in California, which has the largest economy among U.S. states, and is a massive exporter. President Trump's unlawful tariffs are wreaking chaos on California families, businesses, and our economy, driving up prices and threatening jobs, he said in a statement. "We're standing up for American families who can't afford to let the chaos continue." As with Democratic lawmakers on Capitol Hill, California is arguing that congressional approval was required for the tariffs. The state will ask the court to immediately block the tariffs in the lawsuit being filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California. The announcement on Wednesday comes days after Newsom asked countries to exempt the state's exports from retaliatory tariffs and measures, stating, "California is not Washington, D.C., no deals have yet been announced." California, which boasts its economy in terms of gross domestic product is only smaller than a handful of countries, borders Mexico, and also enjoys a significant trade relationship with Canada. Trump has expressed grievances about the updated trilateral trade agreement he signed off on in 2019 with Mexico and Canada. The Consulate General of Canada estimates that there is $53 billion of two-way trade annually between Canada and California, and that there are nearly 2,000 Canadian-owned companies operating in the state, with about 90,000 total employees. California currently exports about $2 billion more in goods and services to Canada than it imports, the consulate says. But the strained relations as a result of the tariff threats from Washington have seen California wineries and alcohol suppliers punished as a result, with products wiped from the shelves of liquor stores in several provinces. Newsom also beckoned Canadians to the Golden State as part of a newly launched tourism campaign. "Our inclusive values, love of natural beauty and passion for innovation bind us, and we look forward to welcoming you back with the same community spirit you've always shown us," Newsom says in the ad. California estimates Canadians are the second biggest international spenders for its tourism economy, with Newsom stating that 2 million Canadians visited last year. But state tourism officials say visits by Canadians dropped 12% in February compared with the same month last year. Domestically, the California action stands to mark a resumption of the tensions between the state and the Trump administration. Conflicts dating back to the first Trump administration have arisen over automobile emissions and the environment, reproductive rights and access to abortion, and wildfire prevention and causes.